Hey folks, this is Dave Gleason, Director of Youth Performance for the International Youth Conditioning Association, and I just wanted to share with you a templating system that we use here at Athletic Revolution that could be very useful for you. Now, keep in mind, this is your program or your business, so you need to do what's right for you. What we've taken here and what we've put together comes right out of the tenets of the YFS 1, the Youth Fitness Specialist 1 certification from the IYCA. I'm hoping this will help you as you move forward, because let's face it, when you're especially trying to program for kids 6 to 9 years old, this can be problematic. So what we want to try to do is lay out a template system, and then we can plug and play literally for those age groups. I'm going to share with you some of the activities that we actually use for this age group, but what I want to do is give you a brief overview. Remember that for this age group, the most important thing you can do is give your kids the opportunity to explore and discover movement and teach themselves as much as possible. That's why the first category here is discovery. This is your running, crawling, climbing, rolling, etc., etc., etc. Plug in what you want to there. It's things like, if I'm just taking off one of our sheets here that looks almost exactly like this, we have bear crawls, or bear crawl to a rollover. We have things like forward crab walks and backward crab walks, dragon walks, which is what we call our lateral lunging. Those types of things, again, it could be climbing, rolling, it's all up to you, ways for them to explore as much as possible. Object manipulation is next. Can they manipulate an object, whether it's an external load or not? We'll use light dodgeballs, they weigh next to nothing. We'll use smaller Dynamax balls, 4s and 6s. Be creative and input things that you can use for this category here. Another thing you could use is battle ropes. Yes, battle ropes. Manipulation of any type of object, and again, it's up to you, it's your program. Coordination training. Now this is loaded. Okay, this is absolutely loaded, because it's not just, you know, are they tripping over their own feet or not? As we know now, we have to think about things like balance, rhythm, reactivity, kinesthetic differentiation, spatial awareness, all these different things. What we use is what we call bucket dodgeball for this one, which incorporates a little bit of object manipulation, but it's hand-eye coordination for a bit too. So it's a dodgeball game where it's the first team or individuals to get a certain number of dodgeballs inside of a bucket. So just take that into consideration as well. It could be skip tag, so they're working on the coordinative aspects of skipping. It could be a mirrored game where they're mirroring you as the coach. We'll use this to balance, so if I'm balancing on one foot, so does everyone else. If I have to put one foot forward or the side, put one arm up, have them mirror you. It's almost like Simon Says, you turn it into a fun activity. They'll follow you and be able to work on balance. So just real brief overviews here for you. Cooperation and gameplay. For my money, the most important thing we can do, because you can incorporate all of this in here. You get transference. You get to teach them about opaque and transparent competition. We usually put here choice. We used to dictate this, and sometimes we still will, but we'll come up with what game we're going to use at the end with the kids. Hey guys, what game do you want to play today? Sometimes you'll get a new game, which is even better, because then they co-create and they get some ownership over their own programming, their own fitness. So this is a very, very, very short and brief explanation of the template that we use here. It's endless what you can plug into these. Is there going to be overlap? Absolutely. If we're doing our version of a lunge walk, which we call monster walks here, we may use that for discovery. We may use that for gameplay if we're using it in the sense of red light, green light, but they're lunge walking while they're doing that. So you can see how there can be overlap here. Skip tag, I mentioned. It could be as gameplay, as a reward, or to reinforce the skill of skipping. So it could be down here, it could be discovery. If they have an object in their hand and they need to release that object or have a task implemented in the middle of that, then maybe we use it for object manipulation with an overlay of coordination with it. It's up to you guys, and that's the whole thing. Be creative, do what's right and what's developmentally appropriate for your athletes, they'll get a lot more out of it, and so will you. Hope this helps, and we'll see you soon.